Hey, what's up? It's Chuck from the band Simple Plan. I play drums, and I'm here for the interview.
Very cool. So you recently released another album, but you went with another producer. Every album you've changed producers.
Yes.
So how did you decide on Brian?
We are producer sluts. You know, we get to change it up every record. You know what? It's just because there's so many talented people out there, and for us, it's been really cool to have a chance to try them all. You know, and learn from them as well, and just kind of like, you know, a lot of bands, they always go to the same guy, and for us it's just been about experimenting and trying to find someone that, you know, we connect with and have a great time. And with, you know, on the first record we learned a lot from Arnold Lanny. He was a great producer, he was a great guy to have on our first record. We still use a lot of the tips he gave us, and you know, he taught us a lot. He was a good guy. Bob Rock on the second record, you know, legend. You know, it was amazing to work with him. We were actually supposed to work with him on the third album with him, but it was he was busy doing something else. We took too long to write. Anyways, it was all scheduling, but we really loved our experience with him. And with Brian this time around, just felt right, you know. It just felt like he had the right kind of mix of between like this kind of pop sensibility, but as well being like a real rock guy that can make guitars and, you know, drums and the band sound really big and powerful. So that was the kind of mix we wanted. It was important for us to stay true to who we are as a band, and not jump on the bandwagon and become one of those, like, you know, drum machine or like kind of dancey band, which we're not. You know, we're a rock band primarily, all about guitars and melodies and drums, and you know, so that's what the record's about. You know, it definitely has a little bit modern elements, but at the same time it still feels like a real, you know, genuine, heartfelt rock album, and that's what we wanted to make, you know.
So what would you say was the biggest thing you learned from him?
Brian, it's funny because I just thought we had a lot in common, you know, like we talked a lot before the album, and you know, we were on the same page musically, lyrically, like everything's important, everything matters. There's not any small detail that's too small to be to care about. It should all, everything matters, and we were really on the same page. As a band, we're like that, and you know, it's rare to find a producer that's exactly the same as you on that level. They always say, oh, it's fine, don't worry, it's just... So with him, we had the same kind of obsession of making everything really great, and I think what we learned is it was more like reinforce what we thought. You know, it's all about great songs and great melodies, great choruses, great lyrics that people can relate to, and you know, if you don't have that, don't try to polish it up in the studio. It's pointless. You really have, it all starts with the music and the song. So I think it was more like we just found someone that understood how we work and how we look at music, and it was great.
It seemed like on this album you went back to, it's a Simple Plan record. I mean, you can definitely tell your previous album sound had changed a little bit, but now you're back to that, you know, pop punk sounds. Was there definite, you know, push to do that? It seemed like a lot of people are like, we're Simple Plan, we haven't heard from them in a while, even though you had an album out.
Right. Well, on the last record, you know, we were going through, as we were writing it, we were going through different situation. I would say tougher time. Like Pierre was dealing with, you know, with his brother going through a really tough battle with cancer. You know, we had tough breakups in the band and everything, and I think it was a little darker of a period for us to write. So, and we also just wanted to try different things musically. So it kind of came out the way it did, and we're still very proud of it. You know, like Around the World was one of the biggest albums we ever had. It was definitely blew up everywhere in lots of countries. We played our biggest shows in our career. In the U.S., we didn't get to play as much as we had hoped. It didn't, you know, do as well as we expected on the radio, which is fine because, you know, it happens, and every band has those records, and maybe you look back and they're kind of like transition records and whatnot. So, you know, we're really proud of it. We still feel there's some amazing songs on it, but at the same time, after playing them for a year and a half, we just felt like, you know what, we wanted to kind of, just felt it was a little too mid-tempo, a little too dark, and we wanted to get back to the fun, kind of like good time aspect of our music, and really what made us who we are today, you know, like No Pads, No How Much Is Balls, Still Not Getting Any, those kind of like really fun, catchy, heartfelt lyrics, and it was important for us to kind of reconnect with that, you know, because that's what made us fall in love with music, and that's what, you know, I think that's what we're good at. So with this record, it was kind of going back to our roots, but at the same time, I really feel like it's not just a throwback, and I don't think we could have written that album in 2001 or 2000. There's some songs on there like This Song Saved My Life or Astronaut or Gone Too Soon that truly feel like are the best songs we ever wrote in terms of songwriters, and you know, so you have to go through 10 years, 11 years as a band, you know, get more confident as a songwriter, as a musician, as band in general, and to be able to write those. So, you know, that's our journey, and we're still here after 12 years, same band members, and you know, same band. And I think that it's the history of the band where I wouldn't change anything because it got us to where we are today. You know.
Yeah, I think if you look at bands that have been around as long as you guys have, most have changed members.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't, which is, I mean, enough to give an award for right there.
Right. Well, that's a big thing for us. We're really proud of that. I think that so many bands have lost like half their member, or they've fired 3 people, or 5, or you know, or they even changed the lead singer and all that. So for us, it's been about kind of just being able to stick together as 5 friends, as a unit, as a band, and I think that's important. You know, like we all grew up together. We all have the same values. We share the same dream, same vision as a band. And I think that obviously sometimes there's conflicts and there's moments where you don't all agree. But the key for us has been talking and being able to communicate and, you know, voice whatever disagreement we had and work it out. You know, I think be more patient and have. We're in a generation of people just, as soon as it's not perfect or it doesn't work out perfectly, people just throw it away. Whether it's a relationship, you know, whether it's people getting divorced, whether it's products or things, everything is disposable. Where I feel this band is not disposable. It's us, and all our fans around the world want us to be the five guys that kind of came together in 1999 and, you know, build something together. So I think that we don't look at it as temporary, or we look at ourselves as permanent. We want to go on for a long time.
Oh, it's very cool. Now, being that you've had such a long career, what is there left that you still want to accomplish that you haven't?
I think there's a lot, you know. I think that, well, longevity is the biggest thing. You know, I think that every year that goes by makes us feel bigger as a band and more special because we last, you know, and every record that comes out and that is successful and where people, it's almost like you're proving everybody wrong because everybody expects you to, you know, to be gone after a record or two, you know, and which what happens to most bands. So when we're able to keep going and we're able to kind of prove all the critics wrong, that kind of starts as a flash in the pan and whatnot. I think that's a great feeling, just that. And in terms of goals or whatever, there's tons of goals. We want to play more countries that we haven't played before. That's something we're all really proud of. We go and play Indonesia, Malaysia. We're going to China next in 2 weeks. We're going to Hong Kong. We're going to Korea for the first time. We're going to Hungary for the first time in August. So for us, it's all about playing new places. I still want to play India. There's so many other countries I want to play. I want to play in Africa more. Like, we want to go everywhere. We want to be a band that plays, that's global, and just kind of keep doing that and have songs that resonate with people and that are relevant, you know, to new people, to old fans. You know, just keep on being a relevant band. I think that's the key for the band.
So my last question I ask everybody, if I've never interviewed them before. So it's the future. You open up the Rock and Roll Encyclopedia.
Wow.
Oh, it's a beautiful monarch.
Look at that.
What would you like to read under your band's name? How do you want to be remembered?
That's a tough question. You know what? I just hope that we have songs that will touch people and mean something to them, and you know, that will have an impact on their lives. You know what I mean? Whatever form that is, whether it's like, oh man, like that was my favorite band when I was growing up, or that band, that song that they wrote stopped me from doing something really stupid like killing myself or whatever, or they just put a smile on my face every time that I play their music. That's kind of what I would want, you know. And as far as legacy and all that, I just hope that, I think that we're part of that scene, that kind of hardcore scene, that pop punk world, and we're, you know, like if you look back, you know, you got like Green Day, Blink-182, The Charlotte, Simple Plan, Sum 41, you know, like these kind of bands that kind of define, you know, pop punk and the world. And I hope we're part of that, you know what I mean? Because I think we had a lot to do with it.
Well, thank you very much.